Hey, folks, Cam Rogers coming at you for the 49ers report. Let's start things off with some news, and it's about Reuben Foster pleading not guilty to 3 felony charges, including domestic violence. So we have a preliminary trial set for May 17th, but there's also another hearing on Friday, which relates to a subpoena for evidence. So Foster does not have to attend that hearing on Friday. But, of course, the big-time date will be May 17th. Now, the charges were officially filed on April 12th. The DA's office alleges that Foster dragged his ex by her hair, punched her in the head 8 to 10 times, and physically removed her from the house. Now, the alleged victim, as you guys know, recently recanted her domestic violence allegations against Foster, providing a video of an altercation with another woman who the victim here in this case says she got the injuries from that incident. The DA's office is in possession of that video. Now, it's still possible that the district attorney's office will go forward with pressing charges. I'll have more on this during my rumors section, but the news here is that Reuben Foster is pleading not guilty. Let me know in the reaction poll. Do you think Foster is guilty or not guilty? Give me a heart for not guilty. Give me a like for guilty. And then be sure to expand upon yourselves in the comment section on Facebook Live as well as YouTube. All right, let's get to the next note here in our news roundup. The 49ers have signed an offensive tackle, Mike Person, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts. He's an 8-year veteran, providing some depth behind the tackle position. Of course, you got Mike McGlinchey and Joe Staley and Gary Gilliam there. And Person played in 8 games for the Colts a year ago. Not the greatest player in the world, I'll tell you that much. 3 of his last 4 seasons have, quote, poor grades according to Pro Football Focus, but he's a backup anyway. He's a depth option. I think it's a not-so-bad selection there. 6'4", 300 pounds, not the most massive tackle out there in the world, but he will help things out on the depth chart there for the 49ers. That signing happened just a few hours ago, by the way. All right, let's get to news note number 3 here. The Niners have signed one of their rookies, Kentavius Street. Now, he's a defensive end out of NC State. Yes, he's that guy that will not be playing in the 2018 season because he recently tore his ACL in a private workout with the Giants. He was actually slated to be around a second-round pick for the 2018 NFL Draft. Obviously, that did not come to fruition, being selected in the 4th round instead. It's likely he will open training camp on the non-football injury list and remain on the list the entire season. So why are you wondering non-football? Well, any injury that occurred before a player is drafted, it's technically a non-football injury for the purposes of an NFL roster. By the way, at the end of his rookie contract, he will become a restricted free agent, not an unrestricted free agent due to this injury here. So there you go. Some news around the 49ers. How about some rumors? So back to Reuben Foster. Is a suspension coming? 2 Jed heads here. I'm going to keep this firmly in the rumor category. So here's what we know. As I mentioned, the prelim hearing is on May 17th. Now, the ex-girlfriend has recanted her statements about Foster and all this, providing the video to the DA's office showing her in an altercation with another woman. However, the prosecution could still continue regardless of the victim's statements. Now, this is something to watch. If the ex-girlfriend testifies at the hearing under oath that Foster did not hurt her, the DA's office may just drop the charges altogether, which is very possible. Now, if the judge decides there is enough evidence to proceed with trial, California law requires a trial to begin within 60 days. That means we are looking at the start of a trial by mid-July at the latest. So there you go. That's the situation with Reuben Foster. If this does go to trial, we will probably have the verdict, the decision, if you will, before training camp. So even if Foster is acquitted or the charges are dropped, of course, the NFL could levy its power, and Roger Goodell could slam down a 6-game suspension on Reuben Foster. Fluid situation. I'm tracking it for you guys. 2 Jed heads right now. How about rumor number 2? No compensatory picks for 2019's NFL Draft. 4 Jet heads on this one. Feeling really good about this because you just look at the numbers here. And the NFL deadline for free agents impacting the comp pick formula was yesterday afternoon. Over the Cap does a great job of tracking all the free agency moves here. And even though the 49ers had 3 more losses than gains in free agency in the specific window for comp formulas, none of the 3 have enough contract value as to result in comp picks. So the league hands out 32 total compensatory picks. The Niners are not likely to get any of those. Let's get to rumor number 3. Are the Niners going to win the NFC? I mean, just straight up, I'm going to ask this. So this is stemming from a rumor with the latest Vegas odds. 2 jet heads here. Bovada released the odds for the 49ers to win the NFC. They rank 7th with 11-1 odds, tied with the Atlanta Falcons. The 49ers have the second best odds for teams that did not make the playoffs in the NFC in 2017. I've been throwing you guys a lot of odds lately because it's clear Vegas is slowly drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will. And Niner Empire, here is my warning to you guys. Please stay humble, but it is okay to be excited because I do believe this will be a fun season for San Francisco. They have a very real shot to capture the NFC crown, but they will be tested in 2018 with the likes of the Packers, the Vikings, the Rams twice, the Seahawks twice as well. So a big-time schedule coming up for the 49ers. All right, rumor number 4, are the Niners signing Terrell McClain. He's a free agent defensive tackle, formerly of the Redskins. 2 jet heads on this one. Reported by Ian Rappaport that McClain is going through a little bit of a tour here. Stop with the 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys as well. Reportedly, the Dolphins are interested. McClain spent last year with the Redskins, but he was released after only 1 year of his 4-year, $21 million contract. Appeared in 12 games last season. Be a nice depth option here behind DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Earl Mitchell as well. Didn't have a great campaign in 2017, as you see, graded out as the 120th defensive lineman, according to Pro Football Focus. So not the best ranking in the world, but he has shown some signs in his previous years. So there you go. Terrell McClain, 2 jet heads there. Let's take a look at the rumor meter. What do those jet heads mean? 0 heads, fake news, do not believe in it. 1 jet head, there's little truth to it. 2 jet heads, firmly in the rumor category, it's simmering. 3 jet heads, we're faithful in it. 4 jet heads, it's happening. Let's get to rumor number 5. Is Trent Taylor headed to the Pro Bowl? We're going to put this in the rumor category. 2 jet heads, the rumor origin is yours truly, and I'm going to give you guys my reasoning, all right? For me, it's a matter of opportunity. First, it looks like DJ Reed and Dante Pettis will see more return duties rather than Taylor. Second, that means Taylor gets more work in the slot. So more opportunity there to make some noise on the offensive side. Third, his only competition for the slot is Richie James, really, who has some promise but is also a 7th-round pick. And then finally, all of the attention will be on the likes of Jerick McKinnon and Marquise Goodwin and Pierre Garçon and a good, healthy set of tight ends as well, and Selleck, etc. Nobody's going to be thinking about Trent Taylor. He's going to emerge out of nowhere, and he could low-key come out of nowhere and head to the Pro Bowl. So 2 jet heads on this. Maybe it should be 1. Definitely not 3 or 4, of course, but just something to monitor there, folks. All right, speaking of Dante Pettis, is he going to get over 1,000 yards receiving? Wow, this is a big-time statement. 1 jet head here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get mad at me, but this was a big-time prediction by one Bucky Brooks of NFL.com. Look, Dante Pettis had a decorated career at Washington, particularly in the return game. But if anybody's going to get 1,000 yards receiving this season, it's probably going to be Marquise Goodwin. He was the closest to do so a year ago. Of course, the 49ers haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2014 with Anquan Bolden. So it's been some time, and I don't think Pettis is going to be the guy who gets past 1,000 yards receiving when you have so many other players ahead of him on the depth chart. Now, Pettis is going to have to climb that depth chart to actually get the opportunity to get to 4 digits there in the receiving column. So one Jedhead on that one regarding Dante Pettis, and that's the rundown with the latest news and rumors.